The bill was signed by Sleepy Joe yesterday, so TikTok's Chinese owner will have 9 months to sell its stake. Barring that, TikTok could be outright banned in the US. So this actually might be happening.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Walkthrough Podcast presented by BAM, your go-to marketing and branding podcast. My name is Dan O'Neill, team leader here in New York and Florida, and today we are talking about what potential TikTok ban means for social media landscape. I feel like we've talked about this a ton. It might be finally coming to fruition. 3 viral hooks that every video needs, what's working in our marketing right now and what's not, and we will be reacting to the best things we've seen from other agents this week in marketing, and there is a ton. Today, I am joined by my co-host back from Tulum, Mexico, Nashville. Who knows? This guy is a world traveler here, Mr. Eric, the broke agent Simon. Eric, how are you today?
I'm great. I've been to 3 places in my entire life, Dan. Cabo San Lucas, Jerusalem, and the United States of America. That's it. 3 places. World traveler right there.
We're happy to have you in here in Brentwood. We're also today joined by Mr. Brooks Landry. He is repping a Boston Red Sox hat, but we will not comment on that. And we are joined by fan favorite Miss Natalie Perez from sunny Naples, Florida, a.k.a. God's country. Let's get into it, Eric. We're happy to have you back. Thank you guys for joining us. Make sure to like, make sure to comment, make sure to subscribe, and let's get to it. Hi, Mrs. Simon. Eric, TikTok.
Yes.
Finally,
Yes.
Is it banned? Is it not banned? Am I posting on there? Am I not? What's the deal here, buddy?
I got it here, Dan. I got the breakdown. First off, I do want to say hello to my mom who watches every episode, Mrs. Simon.
Hello.
Here's what happened, Brooks. Late Tuesday, April 23rd, the U.S. Senate passed a broad legislative package that could ultimately lead to a nationwide TikTok ban, Brooks. That is not good for you. The bill was signed by Sleepy Joe yesterday, so TikTok's Chinese owner will have 9 months to sell its stake. Barring that, TikTok could be outright banned in the US. So this actually might be happening. The thing is that got TikTok kind of in hot water is not its addictive short form video app, but its ties to the Chinese government. This is why bills put the onus on TikTok's Chinese owner ByteDance to sell off its stock to the company, severing TikTok's ties with China. So who would buy this? Who do you think is going to buy TikTok? It could be Microsoft. It could be Sharon. It could be Byron. We have no idea who's going to actually buy TikTok. But if this does become law, I think Meta would most likely benefit. Because according to Wedbush, whoever the hell that is, about 60% of TikTok users would transition immediately to Instagram and Facebook if TikTok vanished from the social media landscape. And of course, Google would benefit because TikTok users could no longer use the platform as their primary search engine. So I want to kick this to you guys. Would this affect you, Natalie? If TikTok was wiped off the face of the earth, would this bother you? Do you care?
Contrary to maybe some other opinions, I actually don't utilize TikTok. I find like if I'm trying to do too many things at once, I don't do anything very well. So I've really kind of niched myself down to more the Instagram market. My marketing person does the Facebook, and I stay in my Instagram platform, partly because when I did TikTok, I guess in 2020, my videos were getting banned. And they weren't even inappropriate. Like for what I see now or what I'm like,
Heyo.
What were you posting?
No ass out.
Hey,
There was
wait. We can't go past that. Like
No kidding. What were you doing?
I've seen some crazy shit on
TikTok. Getting straight up banned?
It was it was that Judixa character, and I was doing some kind of like dance or like I don't know if it was the lyric. Anyways, I didn't understand why I was getting banned, and that kind of pissed me off. And then every time I try to, or when I do have a TikTok account, I do not use the platform regularly at all. But when I go on, I feel like my algorithm is all over the place. I'm like, I don't want to be here. But that's my experience.
Got it. So it would not negatively affect you at all. Here's an interesting thing. And Haley, if you could tee this up, it's a video from Ryan Serhant, and it's a different kind of example of what this could cause because there's so many businesses that utilize TikTok for their marketing. There's a ton of agents. I know Glenda Baker got her, not her start, but like became super viral famous from TikTok and from doing videos on there. So, and she's of course transitioned to other platforms and everything. So she'll be fine. But this is an interesting take from Ryan Serhant here.
U.S. House of Representatives has moved to ban TikTok. I don't want to get political here, whether this is the right thing to do, the wrong thing to do, election year, all that stuff. But the number one thing I think about is jobs. There are $14.7 billion through TikTok has been generated by midsize and small businesses, which support 224,000 people. That's just 2023. Over 7 million US businesses utilize TikTok for marketing, which generates income, which generates jobs, which creates a multitude of different types of tax revenues for the government. Now, I've seen a ton of content about the politics, but let's start a conversation about how you will be impacted financially. Now, everybody has to pivot. Everybody has to change. That's the nature of different paradigm shifts. So that maybe this is that. And maybe the government is now just showing us that they're a lot stronger than anyone on apps like this ever actually thought. But how will you be impacted? Let me know in the comments, and let's actually start that conversation.
So he got destroyed in the comments of people saying you don't understand how, bad TikTok is for, Americans and the stuff that it serves you and just like the dark hole you could go down and everything that social media causes. But I just thought that was an interesting take, Brooks, that there are a ton of businesses outside of real estate, of course, that thrive because of TikTok. So are you for the ban? Like, what do you think about this?
So it's kind of a double-edged sword. It's definitely a security issue that is turned political. I think it was kind of a don't look over here, but look over here type of move when it had the foreign policy and we threw about $96 billion to other countries and then kind of stirred everything up with TikTok over, let's have all the marketers. Because anytime I go on the news over the past couple of days since this has been announced has been TikTok, a little bit of whatever the aid was. So it's a bold strategy, Cotton. We're going to see how this plays out for Biden when it comes to votes. Because
4 more years. Pause.
Yes. So, I think what's a lot of those things, if you kind of continue to go through and kind of like, search how this is going to affect, there was a couple videos and big articles about Gen Z and how they plan on voting because of this and how this is going to potentially negatively affect the outcome and kind of turn things around. But then on the flip side, about a month or so ago, they talked about the payout of student loans. So, did he buy your vote, or are you pissed off by the vote? We won't get too political with that. We could talk forever, but I thought you kind of laid that out for me to kind of play with it. What's that?
Exactly. Simon, Natalie, and Brooks.
Hey, shut up, Brooks's mic, please. This is a marketing podcast.
We're going to talk about that. I have a lot to say. No.
Yeah, I think the point here is, and your point, I understood that. I was going to you, Dan. Go ahead.
Continue. I apologize.
Go ahead. No, are you talking to me?
No, Dan.
Oh, Brooks, shut up. No more politics.
We're giving Brooks an ear like this. No, but I do think that it's to Sirhan's point, it does affect people's money, right? Like people are making money on TikTok. Brands are using it. It's kind of a little bit of an implication of what they can potentially do down the line for Twitter or for Instagram or for any other social media platform, not to get political, Brooks. I learn a lot on TikTok. I don't post myself, but I learn a ton. So whether it's like home decor in my house and getting like a little mushroom lamp, or it's, learning how to build a deck, or it's news, I learned a lot on TikTok. Eric's smiling over there, but it's true. And so, yeah, I think that it's a little bit scary in the sense of like what it could mean down the line, if you actually read it. And I feel bad for the people that do make money on it, but it won't affect me because I'm not utilizing it. But I did have something funny that I sent to Haley of this morning. Haley, can we pull this up? Well, I wanted to, the text thread. So this morning I woke up from a text, 8:50 a.m. I don't post on TikTok, but I do have a team that does it. Shout out to my team. They got me in trouble this morning from my ex-girlfriend. I woke up at 7:50 this morning. I got a text. And if you could see the text thread, I don't even know what this video is. I didn't post it. Oh, there we go. Scrolled through TikTok, and this is on my For You page. Absolutely classic, because I certainly did not post a girl in a towel on my TikTok. But you can see, number one, that I have the systems, which is good. But number two, TikTok's a bad place to be. So pass that to you, Eric.
I rarely use TikTok. I don't think it's going to affect me. And the agents that they're really concerned about, if this is a big piece of business in lead generation, if this is your main thing, you can't put all of your eggs in that one basket, right? Tom Ferry's been saying it for years. You got to diversify. You got to be putting things in, direct mail marketing, cold calling, whatever the case may be, social media. So if this is really going to affect you, I think this is a learning curve, and I think you need to start diversifying where you're getting your marketing out.
I think that
Also,
the point that 60% of these users are going to come to Instagram should
Yep.
be alarming for all of us too, because Instagram's so overcrowded and oversaturated right now. Like the algorithm has been getting absolutely crushed. Like I don't know if you guys are experiencing this with your reels or your content right now, but there's so much content on Instagram. So it was kind of nice to have these platforms separated.
I
uh,
agree.
So
Eric, do you think too? Like they're saying that this is like they're stealing our information. Buddy, my Alexa knows more about me. That this thing could pull a doomsday device right now and ruin me. I mean, our phones, right? Like I'm
yeah.
thinking about a putter right now, and I'm going to get an advertisement in 10 minutes. So like they have our information. It's such a BS thing of like that's why they're doing it. Come on.
Well,
Yeah, well, we'll see. They have 9 months to sell this thing to someone in America. So
We should buy it.
I, yeah, we should buy it. Exactly. All right. Well, that's TikTok, everybody. Let us know in the comments if this TikTok ban would affect you or not, if you're rooting for it, if you're rooting against it, or if you have all of your eggs in TikTok, which would be a problem. You know what you should have all your eggs in, though, Dan? BAMX, because BAMX is on fire. We just picked up 200 members last week alone. So if you want 3 social templates, 2 video scripts, 1 email script, a new course every month, our private community, and access to all of our creators and everything, you got to join BAMX today. Use code WALKTHROUGH for 10% off. Price is going up
Do you
tomorrow,
want Alex
as it
Hermosi
always
coming
is.
to your Christmas dinner? Do you want him coming to Thanksgiving? Do you want to hang out with him every day and fly on your private jet?
Exactly.
We'll get into BAMX, and maybe one day that will come to fruition. But the price is going up, and actually, Eric, it did go up, I believe. Correct?
Exactly. Yes. Right after BAMFest talk. So speaking of BAMFest, we had Chelsea Pites, who is an amazing social media coach. She doesn't like the word guru, but she is a guru, but in the most positive sense of the word. So here's something that I thought was awesome. She talked about how each reel you need 3 hooks. You need 1 verbal. So that's what you're saying. You know, Brooks, Captain Hook, is the king of hooks. He'll say stuff like, here are 5 reasons why the Red Sox aren't going to win, 80 games this year. That's your
I give you
hook.
20.
Exactly. 20 reasons. Then you
Go
need the
Islanders.
visual hook. This is important. The visual hook, Natalie. Have you ever heard of one of these things? A
Yeah.
visual hook. Yeah, there we go.
Because I read
Text
Bam
based.
every day.
No, not necessarily. Exactly. Not necessarily a visual one in the sense that, me wearing a pink dinosaur on my hat, but the
So like,
text based hook, she says, is the most important hook in the game, is that text that you have on screen. So anytime you're filming a video, you need text on screen for at least the first 2 seconds. And then the third hook is the caption hook. And she talked about this in BAMFest. And then she also talked about how hooks are kind of going out of fashion in the sense of, how could I say something insane right now to get the attention? Maybe make it more conversational. Use the word you and have stuff like, oh, I was talking to blah, blah, blah the other day, and they said this. Brooks, I think you recently just did a video like that. You're really good at those conversational hooks.
Mhm. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, you don't need to follow up. Just
Keep
just
going.
a compliment there. That's all. So, any thoughts on this with hooks? Do you think that the content right now, Natalie, like that everybody is just too trying to get people's attention, and kind of it's more natural to have a conversational hook, possibly?
Yeah, I guess I'll speak for myself. I feel like
Yeah.
when I'm editing something, if for a podcast, for example, of course, like that nugget, that gold piece, if it's at the top, great. But I don't necessarily, if there's chemistry, or honestly, if I like the video, if I find it entertaining, I'm gonna watch it as if, how I want to, how I think it would be entertaining. And usually that's what works. I will say something like a visual hook, even at like emotion in the camera, or a pause, or some kind of physical movement. If you only have yourself in the camera, I think that is awesome, especially when we're doing real estate. If there's, a house, it might be better to have you in front of the house, right? It's like, who is this person selling this thing? I want to see more. I think the idea of our phone and a screen, it's the medium is visual first. So an audio is a bonus. So I think the words, like Chelsea was saying, on the screen, if I'm, sitting next to someone on the couch, I don't have my volume on because maybe there's a show on. I need to see something come across my screen that's going to make me continue watching the video, and even more clicking that caption, because that first, like she mentions, those first sentence of the caption is the hook. And
Yeah.
that keeps me on the platform reading the caption, which then, of course, sets off our algorithm to push it to more viewers. Does that
That's
answer the
right.
question?
It does answer. And also it's SEO. So she was saying even the on text screen caption that you could have, Instagram's becoming more SEO searchable. They just launched some like Meta AI thing. If you see that in your DMs now, where you could go to the
Do you
top
have
and
that on
ask
your search
Meta.
bar, Eric?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did
Freaking
it
me out.
yesterday. I just asked, what's the score of the Yankees game? And it spit out the exact score, inning, and everything, which
Really?
I don't know why I need that. I mean, I could just Google it. I don't have to DM Meta for that. But I'm sure it's going to find some sort of, learning formula to start feeding us information that we don't want.
And we don't
But,
think that they're taking our information from there either. Oh boy.
I mean, they definitely
Right.
are. Everybody is.
Yeah. Very
All
good.
right, everyone. That's the three hooks. I don't know if
Yeah.
we have anything else to say on that. I think Chelsea did a great talk at BAMFest. Yes, Dan.
So what I learned from her talk and from being in BAMX and from Minor Media and from all the above and from being at every single BAM event humanly possible, you know what visual hooks that I love on top of the conversational ones? The funny little kind of ones where like, somebody jumps in a pond and it's like makes that noise and then like, they're in the pond, right? It's a transition. Or like somebody throws a football and like they're about to get smoked in the head and then the agent gets smoked in the head. It's like, oh, hey, welcome to 123 Main Street. Like, it's kind of funny. I saw some kid slide like 100 feet, and like then he like slid in the living room. It's like, welcome to my new listing. Like that made me laugh, and I actually watched the video, as silly as it is. So even those like quick little kind of like quick hitting funny hooks are so much better than like the over sensationalized. I don't know what the word is right there. The hyper.
Yeah.
Please help me, for the love of God, somebody.
Sensationalized.
Thank you. Yes, those
Nice.
those are so out. Thank you, Natalie.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Agreed. And you're talking about the ones that are from like another video where someone gets hit in the head with a pan or falls or something, and then Katie Day like rolls in.
Yes.
And
Yeah, they
then
roll out
shows
of a casket, and then Katie rolls in and says, 3 things you need to know about the Houston real estate market.
Exactly. Those work every time
Yes,
though, because
those
you're
work.
wondering, you're like, oh, this is some viral video I'm about to watch.
Yes.
And then it's someone talking about their listing.
I think those are
do work.
hilarious, and it's much better than just the 7-second comment the word Alex Hermosi loves his G46 for my new listing video. Like,
Right. Exactly. Let's play one of those videos right now, actually.
Here are 3 reasons why you should check out this Rosamond home. Number 1, the price. If affordability is a thing, it doesn't get much more reasonable than this. Number 2 is the lot. We are sitting on just over 6,000 square feet of land with a big backyard and 3-car garage. Space isn't an issue here. Number 3 is the location. We are in Kern County, right on the border of LA County. And if Los Angeles is pricing you out, this could be an option. Shoot us a DM for more information or give us a call.
Let's get into the social media tips. What's working in your real estate marketing? Natalie, what about you? What's working right now in your game?
In my game, I gotta say, back to what I said earlier, like making the content that I enjoy making works for me. Because at the end of the day, I am the vehicle that's producing and creating this content. I want to be proud of it, of course, but I also want to sit there and laugh at myself because this is a platform that's used for education, but entertainment. And what's working for me, yes, the behind the scenes stuff are just truly documenting what is happening today and not overthinking it, maybe not giving it so much editing time or so much time in my day so that I can be my brand. I'm not even trying. That's kind of what clicked for me is instead of trying to be a brand or be on brand, like cutting that out of my vocabulary and just showing up as me and attracting who I'm going to attract. Those are the people I want to work with and be in my circle anyway. And, and not getting so nitpicky. Yeah. On the product itself and just show this is what I do every day. For some reason, you want to watch it. Great. Let's be friends. Let's go get a coffee. I'll sell you a house later. You don't even know it yet. That kind of, it's easier for me. I get so wrapped up in like the perfection of all the what's new, what's this. And it's like,
people want to
leave
work with their
it out.
friends. People want to work with their friends.
Right.
When
Who
you
wanna
say
My
feel
Brook
like
7
you're-
hasn't had a sale in 6 months.
yeah.
Just
9.
kidding, brother.
9 months. When you say documentary, are you documenting these on Instagram stories? Like, is that where you're putting this content?
I'm doing a lot of the Instagram stories, and some of the stuff I'm editing right now is even blooper reels from recording days. It maybe isn't in real time, but it does feel. I want to make it feel like the person watching it is there with me, because it's like the show Friends. Like that show was sensationalized because it felt like they were also your friends somehow. And that is what my goal is at all times, which is why I'm mostly a goofball sometimes, is I'm like, people think that's funny. Cool. Like, what you see is what you get.
Alyssa
Amen.
Kernat talked about this last week. She posted a blooper reel, or she actually posted older videos. She said, here's the first video I made in 2017, 18, 19. And I think it's cool to show the process of video creation and show that we're not all these polished agents and that this might have taken 15 takes or something like that. Like they see the final version,
Yeah.
but showing the actual process of the content creation. Even the best content creators, Brooks, I'm sure when you're delivering those hooks, probably takes you a couple of times, right? Unless you're just one off.
One
No,
thing.
it
Yeah,
does. And I always talk about when I first got in, when I first started doing video years ago. And it always, when I bring it back up, it kind of resonates. And I feel like I'm getting a lot of engagement and conversations in the DMs. But, like I was sweating through my shirt. I was getting red in the face. I had to change my shirt multiple times. I'm like, Jesus, you have a New England accent. You sound like a fool. Change this. There's like I mean, yeah, it's everybody, especially when it comes to marketing and video specifically. That's kind of the common issue where a lot of people aren't comfortable with who they are, with their voices. So being able to show that you've screwed up multiple times. What's working for me, truthfully, isn't having anything to do with social. I've actually been kind of off social a lot over the past probably month or so, mainly because I've just been focusing so much on the sphere, so focusing so much on the farm, and really kind of adapting my video and content drip into the database, into the farm, into the sphere of influence. And it's been going amazing. I've had more conversations with my sphere since I've kind of taken a step back from, I got to post at between 7:25 and 7:30. I got to make sure I do something stupid at 2:30. I got to do my hello, good mornings in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Like
Is that on your
Good morning.
Is that your
yeah,
checklist? Good morning video, do something stupid.
do something stupid,
Call my
like, I don't
sphere.
know, repost something, like taunt Eric somehow. But a lot of the success that I've seen over the past couple months, and really what's been working, has been taking a step back from social and just getting back into the people that are going to call me
Brooks,
to buy and sell.
it's refreshing, right? Like I'm sure that your mindset too, like and I've beaten it to death on the show. I've taken a little bit of a break. But like
You're one of the reasons why I took a step back after talking to you. You're like, I've kind of pumped the brakes on it. I'm like, that's a good move. Let me see how this works out. Go ahead. Sorry to interrupt.
Who's your? No, yeah, but right, but like, so it's sorry, I didn't know you were. I was looking at Eric. It does like kind of give you a step back. It kind of gives you like a clear and fresh like headspace and mindset, and it does make you want to be more conversational, right? You're not spending time scrolling. You're not looking at other people in Miami. You're not looking at Eric in a different country every other day. You're not looking at Natalie in beautiful sunny Naples where there's something to do every 5 seconds. It gives you a healthy, fresh perspective.
Yeah,
Sometimes
I think
it's
the
all
like
it is.
recovery time. I'm reading something right now, and it's like talking about the creator, the entrepreneur. Having that recovery is like to get fresh ideas, to get a wave of inspiration without the scroll. I mean, it's fucking exhausting.
Eric, please
Yes.
land this plane here, my friend. Bat and clean up.
Yeah.
What is working for you in your marketing, my friend?
I think frictionless content really helps. I saw this in a conversation with Ryan Pineda and Gary Vee. Somehow Ryan Pineda was talking to Gary Vaynerchuk. I don't know if they were on the golf course or something, but Gary was like, make content in settings that's easiest for you. Like if you're in the office like Dan is and your team is filming you, that's a great way to do it because you're not, choosing a specific time to go film content. For us, this is frictionless content. Instead of me sitting in front of a camera doing Marketing Monday videos, we turn this into a marketing podcast. So I don't have to sit there and read a script about like hashtag strategy. I could just like interwine or enter whatever this information in a conversation and bounce it off people without that friction. So I thought that was a really good point by Ryan Pineda. So this is working in sense of that. All right, let's move on to.
Time out. Are you saying in the sense of like using clips?
No,
Like this is can you explain that? I didn't get it. I'm asking for Brooks.
Frictionless content means like creating content in a setting that isn't difficult for you. Okay. So if you have to go drive to a studio and film content, that's something that causes friction. That takes a lot of time. Yeah. You have to book studio space. You have to use an editor. But if you're creating content, say you love to golf, which you do, why not golf and talk about the real estate market? Why not golf and talk about what listings are around or what the market's like around that specific country club? Like do things that you like and create content around that. That way it becomes a lot more natural for people.
I think I agree with that too, Eric, because I think when you have like a shoot booked out, or if you have an entire day with outfits and content, it kind of can lead to anxiety, and then maybe you don't actually perform to your highest ability. So sometimes just
Yeah,
picking up
it's a
the
lot.
phone and filming yourself. You know,
It's a lot of pressure to be like, all right, this is my monthly filming slot. I better be on. I better crush it right now, or go the Natalie route, where you're just documenting yourself throughout the day, and it's not as intense to do something like that. But I still recommend doing the filming, so when there are days that you have no idea what to do content about, you still have a bank,
Yeah.
so that you don't have to like deal with those creative waves.
Yeah, I'm glad I asked. That was actually a really good point. And Eric, before we move on to the next topic, just to recover for myself, I do have something that Haley's going to pull up right here to hammer my point home, and it is very well articulated here.
There's a shift happening in social media, and there's data that's clear. The over sensationalized content, the hyper edits, the transitions, the visual effects, I think audiences are exhausted. They don't even relate to it. Versus there's people like Rob Lee, who's this private chef in the Hamptons, who's blowing up on social right now. He's like been blowing up on IG because he shows his entire day for how he cooks for a client who's a billionaire in the Hamptons. There's this guy Hub who lives here in Dallas. He's just showing his life as a guy who works a 9-to-5 in insurance, and he's
Like Eric.
$500,000 on IG. And we're even seeing switches with people going towards this style. We've seen Sam Sulek. He's blown up on YouTube because he's providing a new experience for people. We've seen Diary of a CEO, Stephen Bartlett, do a vlog now. We've seen Ali Abdaal, who's a massive YouTuber, do a vlog now. We've seen Alex Ramosi. He's gone to doing a vlog now. People want the behind the scenes content. They want to feel an experience with you. They want to feel like they're living life with you. They want to feel on a journey. They want to be a part of it. But what's key is none of this is new. If we think about social media 10 years ago, this was the style of content that was being published. I think the pendulum is completely swinging the other way. There is a hunger and a thirst for this real, raw content. I'm not saying you need to do it. I'm saying it's something you should consider.
Bam. See, he explained that much better than I could have. That was where I was getting the inspiration for my marketing. And yes, thank you, Haley.
What's with the nose patches on all these guys? I know Hermosi wears one of those to like increase brain flow. Do you need that much oxygen to your brain that you have to have a nose patch on? Yeah, I mean, the guy's not a linebacker for the 49ers. Why else are you going to have one of those things on?
I used to wear those when I was on the ice.
Did you actually?
Not when I was shooting content. Yeah.
Oh, when you were shooting content?
When I was playing hockey. Like, you know, better breathing, right? But that's a trend right now.
I don't like that trend.
I haven't seen it.
Natalie, have you ever thrown a nose patch on? It's like I'm taking myself so seriously that I need to consume that much more oxygen. That's what it looks like to me. I think it's the douchiest thing I've ever seen in my life, and I hate anyone that wears one of those.
I thought he had broken nose.
Hermosi included at this point.
The next video I'm going to make is definitely going to be with one of those on, making fun. Like, yeah, that's going to be
It's just such a statement. Like, I am so important. I need so much brain flow and oxygen.
You can't take that off for like 2 minutes. I didn't even know that was what that was. I thought that was like an Accutane thing for like a pimple. I thought the guy just shot a video, right? Frictionless video. Good callback by me. I didn't know that was an oxygen thing. You can't just take that off for 10 seconds and then film.
Of course you can. These people want to show that they're wearing that thing.
That their oxygen levels are higher than ours.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to sit there with an oxygen tank next time and one of those huge sparklet water bottles and like a dumbbell and just show everybody how self-important I am.
I wonder what our oxygen between you, me, and Brooks, not you, Natalie, what our combined oxygen levels would be like. It'd probably be like a negative 400 in our brain.
Why? What do you mean? Why would our oxygen levels probably like because we have no oxygen in our brain?
No.
Yeah, I don't know who the influencer coach guy is that tells everybody to take their shirt off and jiggles their fat for them. But that's, you know what I'm talking about? That bald guy. Oh my god, it's the most absurd thing ever. And that's the thing. It's like the whole pitch of, well, you know, I got to wake up before 4 o'clock and need to have 2 of these strips on my nose so I have more oxygen and I can beat you and sell more cars than you and all that bullshit. Like stop it with this. It's absurd.
Nobody cares.
I need more oxygen immediately. I go like this. I open up my window. I get some fresh air. I didn't know that you could go on Amazon and get a nose guard here. Anyway,
let's take it to the next level and straight up have oxygen going up our nose with 2 tubes there.
Haley,
just 2 tanks like we're in outer space. Speaking of oxygen levels, if you want to improve just your general oxygen levels, going to come up with a transition there. But look, if you want to stay top of mind, the move is to not put a strip on your nose. The move is to check out Reminder Media because they're a resource that is incredible with their own branded and print digital magazines, email newsletters, social media content. They also deliver these magazines, these resources to your contacts on autopilot, keeping you top of mind with your database. All you got to do is focus on your follow-up calls and watch referrals and repeat business come in. Use the link below to check out Reminder Media. It's another reminder, right, Natalie? Every time you walk by a coffee table or something, you see a little magazine of yourself. It's a great resource. We were talking about it during BAM Fest. A bunch of people in the comments were saying they've been using Reminder Media, so definitely check them out. Let's get into our favorite segment, the final segment, the best segment, reacting to the best things we've seen this week in real estate. Brooks,
Yes.
I will start with you. What is the best thing you've seen this week in real estate marketing?
So there's a realtor out of Toronto. Her name is Alice Prince, an absolute just she would be the realtor I would hire if I moved to Toronto. She is doing content completely different than, the roll out of a casket 1, 2, 3 thing we were just talking about. They get hit in the head with a football and be cute about it. She is breaking down one of the most important news stories in the area and in Canada, in the lack of inventory. But she's breaking her content down in a way that is it's educational, but most importantly brings perspective on it. So this particular video is kind of going over the fact that essentially Canada needs to build 60 or 65 new homes per hour in order to hit the inventory issues they have for the next 4 years. A little bit different. I think it just kind of goes back to what you're looking to do with your social and how you're looking to market yourself to the right people. If you go through her page, it's essentially just going through it just brings nothing but value. Sprinkles a little bit of funny stuff into it from time to time, but breaks down the and if you go through some of the comments, she's got clients that are following her that are going back and forth and engaging on it. But she does a hell of a job. Little biased, but she does a hell
Brooks,
of a job.
you know this person?
Is your girlfriend?
Yeah, I know a little bit about her. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Got
no, it is? I was totally kidding.
No,
Wait,
she.
Look at me. Look at me, guys. Look at me, brother. I got oxygen in my nose, and I just figured out that is – I just blew up my nose,
a
by the way,
Band-Aid.
trying to write on with Sharpie.
If you've been following the news recently, then you've heard about the federal budget that was rolled out last week. One of the big topics, obviously, is centralized around housing. And Justin Trudeau wants to build close to 4 million new homes by 2031 to close out the housing gap. Now, he calls this ambitious, but I kind of think it's more than that. So let's just put this whole thing into perspective, and I want to hear your thoughts, so make sure that you comment below. The record high for annual completions in this country was 274,000 in 1976. So let's just take that and times it by the 7 years that we have remaining. That's close to 1.9 million homes. Still not enough. So basically, the government is trying to obviously double that, and they think that they will. But to put things further into perspective, we had only built 182,000 homes last year. So if Canada can pull this off, that means that we would need to create just over 1,500 new homes and about 64 homes per hour. Now, in this TD article, it says that TD economists now estimate that Canada can be short just over 300,000 new units from 2024 to 2026 at the pace that we're going and with our growing population. So what do you think is going to happen to home prices when we have this imbalance of supply and demand?
That was
Value
great.
on
I like
value on
the
value.
I like the in-video call to action. Like, let us know your comments below. She was shifting positions. Great green screen. She had the humorous music in the background. Great breakdown from Alice. Good work, Brooks. It was a great video.
Yeah.
Everybody follow Alice. What's Alice's Instagram? Let's give her a little plug here.
Hey Alice Prince. I think it's at Hey Alice Prince.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll throw it up on screen there. Natalie, what is the best thing that you have seen this week?
I have my oxygen.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
We got
let's
another
go.
oxygen tank.
I just Instacarted from CVS an oxygen tank. I'm gonna have a scuba mask at the office all day. Just in the breath, baby.
I sent over 2 videos. This is the he has a new listing, and I think, speaking of our hooks and different audio sounds and things, I think he did a great job at this. I don't know.
Open up the champagne, pop. It's my house, come on, turn it up. Hear a knock on the door and the night begins. Cause we've done this before, so you come on in. Make yourself at my home, tell me where you been. Pour yourself something cold, baby, cheers to this. Sometimes you gotta stay in, and you know where I live. Yeah, you know what we is. Sometimes you gotta stay in. Welcome to my house, baby, take control now. We can't leave
Wow.
Play that music too loud. Show me what you do now. We don't have to go out. Welcome to my house.
Better shot than Eric.
Welcome to my house.
Very well done.
I
What
liked
I noticed
that.
in there, what I noticed in there was he had a bottle of Poppy Van Winkle, which is an incredibly expensive bottle of whiskey.
Yeah.
Shout out to Broke Agent Media for that, for BAM. Shout out to BAM for that. And what I noticed, I'm so sick of the champagne popping in the beginning of these videos. I'm just going to call a spade here. So that's why I had that reaction, but that was a very well done video.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm wasn't sure what to send this week because I haven't been consuming as much, and that came up, and I thought it was nice that it's a beautiful listing, but it's he did a lot of production for that listing that's not, maybe I don't even know what he's asking. I didn't even look into that.
Yeah.
But in my market here, a lot of the really high end stuff with that value of production is really high end. So it's nice to see that, like, no matter what we're selling, we can make a fun video that our seller's likely going to like. It's going to get some attention. I mean, that's our job. So
And it showed.
yeah,
It showed the property. It showed the listing.
exactly.
A lot of the stuff kind of going around.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah, I like it. It was good.
Yeah, and it used the audio perfectly in sync with actually showing the house. Like, talk about picking an audio that's perfect for a listing video.
Yeah.
That was really well done. Brooks.
Yeah.
Let's see the green screen again. No, we already did you. All right, Dan. Let's. Dan, what's the best thing you've seen this week?
This week, and Eric, you know what? I find it very interesting that we were talking about Instagram's algorithm being down and people not consuming content or commenting and liking. Think about everybody that we've had on so far. Everyone's kind of taken, it sounds like, a little bit of a step back from social. I mean, it seems to be a common theme. So I think they're both going hand in hand a little bit. Not to get off topic, but who is not taking a break from social media and who is just putting out banger after banger video is Utah Paige. She's on fire. I couldn't choose even my favorite from the week because they are putting out so many. And of course, we did their small deck, big deck.
Welcome to my latest listing in Lehi, Utah, a home that really looks good from every angle.
So there's my decks.
I've been blowing through the money like you growing cheese. I've been on a French, say la vie. I just put them on a jet, now they all Italian. Way I'm dressed until I've been to $1,000. This lie by getting shots, but she's still a stallion. She don't even get the joke, but she's still smiling. Every night, late night, like I'm Jimmy Fallon. Crows shoot from anywhere, like you Ray Allen. Crody, turn me up.
If the inside isn't enough for you, this home also sits on just under a half-acre, fully fenced yard and has a massive detached garage in addition to the 3-car attached garage. Contact us for more information or to schedule your private showing.
Speaking of audio, matching the video, I mean, you got a 2-car garage, you got a 3-car garage. Shout out to Tony B. Great hook, great house from all angles. She filmed all angles. Textbook. Utah Paige is absolutely crushing it. I want to move to Utah. I want to go on vacation to Utah. I want to sell real estate in Utah, and I want to use Paige and her team. What did you think about that, Eric, or Natalie, or Brooks?
Yeah, she crushes. Every single week, she could be marketer of the week. Every listing video she does is perfectly in sync with the music. Using Drake every single time seems to hit, I would say.
I would agree.
But these are all like high-end, gorgeous listings, so I think it really helps when it's that. It would suck to use Drake, and it's just like a little, $200,000 bungalow.
An RV, like a mobile park home.
That would actually be funny, like an ironic video doing that.
What's interesting though is I think that out of all of her listings was like the lowest price point.
Yeah.
And she still,
she does good.
Yeah, quick video.
She's
anyway, she crushed it. Eric, what is your marketer of the week? I'm dying to know. Is this Alex Ramosy with a nose patch on? Is this you in Tulum? I met a Spanish girl in Tulum.
I wish it was. The best thing I've seen this week, Dan, is how to use Siri in your listing video.
Hey Siri, find me a good deal on the water.
Here's a 4,300 square foot home on the wide water, asking just under 2.6 million. Check it out.
Hey Siri, tell me a little bit about this house.
This 4-bed, 4-bath home offers breathtaking waterfront views, pool, private dock, and screened patio and a wet bar.
Hey Siri, call Tyler.
Calling Tyler Mobile.
Hello? Bro, I just found the one. You need to get here right now.
I'm in Stewart. Where are you at?
Oh, you're right around the corner. You got to get here.
All right, I'm on my way.
This is why I was blowing your phone up. I mean, look at this view.
For more information, send us a DM.
Today.
I like it a lot.
So good.
How good is that? Showed the house during the day, showed the house at night, showed what it would be like from a buyer's perspective, calling the buyer, showed proximity. Two things. I thought that was just a fantastic video. And I've never seen anything like that using Siri for a listing video. So
I
super
want to know
simple
what his
idea, but
production budget was for that listing. That's amazing.
know.
It's an amazing video.
yeah.
So I've seen that video done before, and I thought it was like an original clip from somebody on Long Island, but they did not have. They filmed it on their phone. So like when they did the Siri thing, they jumped like 15 seconds after, and it looked like they used Splice to edit it together. So I've seen that trend, but to see it actually executed like that was actually very cool.
Yeah, that was awesome. Shout out, the agents' names are Tyler Potts and Alex Burns. So shout them out for such an amazing video. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to this week's walkthrough. We appreciate you. Make sure you subscribe to the Viral Agent YouTube channel. Give us a like and subscribe if you got any value out of this. Follow Natalie Naples. Natalie, what is your Instagram handle?
Natty, Natty PB, like Perez Benetoa.
There we go.
Like
Give
Perez-
Natalie a follow.
like
You can
Perez
watch her
Benetoa.
document her life in the Instagram stories. Give Brooks Landry a follow, Brooks.Landry, and give Danny Deals a follow, of course. Thank you, everybody, for tuning into the walkthrough. We'll see you next week.